Today, I would like to share about forward selection using Minitab. Getting insights into stepwise selection, Tukey tests, lack of fit test and response optimizer techniques. Stepwise regression adds and remove variables from the regression model to identify a useful subset of predictors. Stepwise regression consists of forward selection, backward elimination, and stepwise selection, offering a flexible approach to model optimization. Stepwise regression is ideal for complex datasets with potential predictor correlation, ensuring only the most relevant variables influence your model. Use stepwise regression when you have a large number of predictors and some or all predictors may be correlated. What is forward selection? Forward selection is a variable selection method which begins with empty model that contains no variables, called the null model. Then starts adding the most significant variables one after the other. It stops when all variables not in the model have p-values that are greater than the specified alpha to enter value equals 0.25. The method continues to add significant variables until a predefined significance level is reached. Minitab software provides a comprehensive toolkit for statistical analysis, from hypothesis testing to predictive modeling. A study was conducted to investigate the effects of 3 factors on the weld strength of device. The factor of interest are wire diameter, material, and the gap between wire and device. 3 repeat tests were conducted on each combination of factor levels. The data are shown below. Construct an ANOVA table for these data and perform appropriate tests on the main effects and interactions. The general linear model offers a versatile framework for analyzing relationships between variables, accommodating complex experimental designs. Minitab's procedural guide makes fitting a general linear model straightforward, ensuring that even beginners can navigate the complexities of statistical analysis. Fitting a general linear model in Minitab involves methodically selecting response variables and factors, illuminating paths to deeper insights. Choose Stat ANOVA General Linear Model Fit General Linear Model. In responses, enter weld strength. In factors, enter diameter material gap. Click Model. In factors and covariates, select diameter material gap. To the right of interactions through order, select 2, and click Add. Click the Graphs button. Under Residual Plots, select 4 in 1. Click OK in each dialog box. Under Method, select Forward Selection. Under Display the table of model selection criteria, select Include details for each step. Click OK in each dialog box. Stepwise selection in Minitab prioritizes adding significant terms, optimizing model performance iteratively. Minitab adds the most significant term one after the other. The first predictor put in the forward selection is the gap, then followed by diameter. Minitab stops when all variables not in the model have p-values that are greater than the specified alpha to enter value 0.25. ANOVA tables and lack of fit tests are crucial for understanding model adequacy and the significance of factors. Significant p-values in an ANOVA table signal meaningful effects, guiding decisions with statistical confidence and precision. In the analysis of variance table, the p-values for diameter and gap are less than the significance level of 0.05, the engineer can conclude that the effects are statistically significant. A high p-value in lack of fit tests reassures that the model captures the relationship between variables accurately, without overfitting. There is sufficient evidence at the alpha 0.05 level to conclude that there is no lack of fit in the regression model. There is a linear relationship between x and y. Factorial plots provide a visual representation of factor effects, highlighting key interactions and main effects. Choose Stat ANOVA General Linear Model Factorial Plots. From Response, select Weld Strength. Under Variables to include in plots, move diameter material and gap into selected list. Click OK. The diameter at 0.75 and gap of 1.2 show the higher mean among their respective group. Stepwise regression is a strategic method for model selection, balancing complexity with predictive accuracy. Forward selection starts with an empty model. Then, Minitab adds the most significant term for each step. Minitab stops when all variables not in the model have p-values that are greater than the specified alpha to enter value. Backward elimination method starts with all potential terms in the model and removes the least significant term for each step. Minitab stops when all variables in the model have p-values that are less than or equal to the specified alpha to remove value. Stepwise selection combines forward and backward methods, offering a balanced approach to model building that adapts as analysis progresses. It adding and removing predictors as it builds the model. Minitab stops when all variables have p-values that are greater than the specified alpha to enter value. Residual analysis. Residual analysis is the primary tool for determining whether the assumed regression model is appropriate. The deviations between the actual and predicted values are called errors, or residuals. You should examine residual plots and other diagnostic statistics to determine whether your model is adequate and the assumptions of regression are met. If your model is not adequate, it will incorrectly represent your data. There are three assumptions of error which are normally distributed: constant variance for all fitted values and random and independent over time. For normal probability plot, the points on the normal probability plot roughly follow a straight line. You can assume that the residuals do not deviate substantially from a normal distribution. For histogram, an exploratory tool to show general characteristics of the residuals including typical values, spread, and shape. No outliers being observed. For residuals versus fitted values, the constant variance assumption does not appear to be violated because the residuals are randomly scattered about zero and have approximately the same scatter for all fitted values. For residual versus order, the residuals in the plot should fluctuate in a random pattern around the center line. It violated the assumption of independent if residuals systematically decrease or increase or sudden change as the order of the observations increases from left to right. Response optimizer. Choose Stat, ANOVA, General Linear Model or Response Optimizer. Under Optimize up to 25 responses, select Maximize as goal, click OK. Using the Response Optimizer, the optimized settings to maximize the mean are diameter 0.75 and gap of 1.2. The fitted mean is 6.7275. Composite desirability, D, evaluates how the settings optimize a set of responses overall. Desirability has a range of 0 to 1. 1 represents the ideal case, 0 indicates that one or more responses are outside their acceptable limits. Here, the optimal desirability 0.7614 is close to 1, which indicates the settings seem to achieve favorable results for the response. Stepwise regression adds and remove variables from the regression model to identify a useful subset of predictors. Forward selection is a variable selection method which begins with empty model that contains no variables, called the Null Model. Then starts adding the most significant variables one after the other. It stops when all variables not in the model have p-values that are greater than the specified alpha to enter value equals 0.25. Would you kindly consider liking and subscribing to our channel? Your support means a lot to us. Bye, see you next time.